Yeah, hey everybody. Today we have with us Komal, and Komal is a freelance writer. She specializes in writing about travel and tourism, amongst other things. How are you doing today, Komal?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm doing well too. Thank you. So before we begin talking about your writing, Komal, I'd like to learn a little bit about Komal outside of writing. Tell me something about yourself.
Right. So I'm a literature student in Delhi University. I'm freelancing as a content writer and marketer, and I'm also a professional dancer. So I'm doing quite a lot of things. I recently started this freelance journey. I think I started 3 months back when we were stuck here due to the quarantine, and it's been pretty great ever since because I've learned a lot of things and I've grown so much, and it's been super great. I'm loving it, especially being a student. It's given me a lot of confidence now.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So I'll want to talk about this first. How did you start, or how did you get your first client, or how was your first gig? How did it turn out, and how did it happen?
What happened was during the quarantine, I was finding internships to do, and I've had my fair share of them. I'd already done 4 internships, and I was looking for more. While applying for them, I didn't get quite some replies from anywhere. So I thought, let's just up my game for LinkedIn. I made a profile. I attended some workshops on how to make your profile look good on LinkedIn. And
Okay.
I started implementing it. I started posting. And soon one of my previous employers, my first internship employer, approached me on LinkedIn and asked me if I wanted to work as a freelancer for him. So that
Wow.
was how it turned out to be. So it was great.
Okay. So as of now, are there multiple things you have written in terms of, because travel and tourism is something we all love getting into, but not all of us are fortunate to be traveling to different places. What all things and
Right.
places have you written about?
Not a lot of them. I wrote about travel towards the beginning.
Okay.
I wrote about Hamptons and Venice and Red Tundras and a lot of places, Europe, and it was pretty great. Now I've also started developing a lot of interest writing about marketing. So that's something that's attracted to me and appealed to me a lot.
Okay, so you plan to combine the two, tourism and marketing or something down the line?
Yeah, probably. Let's hope so. I don't have that big a goal right now. I'm focusing on small goals to reach that bigger goal. So let's see, maybe.
Okay, so you'll basically be taking things as they come. Wonderful,
Right,
wonderful,
right.
great. Um, okay, supposing somebody approaches you, like the way you mentioned, a client approaching you through LinkedIn, and supposing somebody approaches you, but you do not have a very good understanding about the organization, or more generally speaking, industry. How do you begin
Right.
that part?
I generally start with if, for example, if it's over text, for example, and if there's a call followed by that, I make sure to do a little research about it so that when I speak to the client, I'm not like out of the way or something, so that I have an idea of that industry and some basic understanding of it, even if not in depth. After that, when I get on a call with the client, which I mostly prefer, I speak to them. Like I ask them what they expect out of this writing, how they want it to be framed, what's the tone would they prefer, what structure would they prefer, how do they want to go about it. And I believe that I don't work for the client, I work with them. So I think along the way I ask questions, so that makes the process quite easier, even if it's something I'm not really sound in.
I think you made a very important distinction between not working with and working for. So that's
Right,
actually a great deal of more involvement about the client and making things
right.
work out and happen for the client. That's awesome. Um,
Thank you.
okay, apart from the client that you got who approached you over LinkedIn, are you making any outreach through social media platforms, or how are you going to take up growing yourself into a more professional writer with more gigs?
Right. So after I started exploring things on LinkedIn, I realized the importance of my personal blog. So I think I built it 3 weeks back.
Okay.
And right now it does not have a lot of blogs, but I'm working towards it. And I started my Instagram profile a week ago. So that's like one step ahead I took in personal branding. So that was a really good decision, I think. So
Okay.
that's how I'm going about it.
Oh, great. So tell me a little more about the blog you're talking about.
Right. So my blog is, for the moment, it's called Writer on Point. So
Okay.
basically, I'm a dancer. So
Can you
in
specify,
dancing,
sorry, I'll interrupt you. Can you specify the entire URL?
right, it's WRITRONPOINT with E with an accent. And it's
Okay.
on WordPress at the moment. I don't
Okay.
host the domain, like I
Okay.
don't own it,
Okay.
but still. So it's basically based on the fact that I'm a dancer. So in
Mm-hmm.
dancing, there's a French term called point, uh,
Okay.
where you stand on the tip of your toes.
Something
So
like a ballet
I
dancer, if I'm not wrong.
Right. I'm a ballet dancer too.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
I actually mixed writing and dancing there so that I can include point, and my writing has to be on point for me. So I mixed that, and like I penned that down. Writer on point basically means dancing and also pouring my heart out in ways that I'm always on point. I try to be. So that's about it. And right now, my first piece was about, it's called Dancing My Way Through Words.
Okay.
So I was writing about on that. Now, as I go further, I'll be writing more about marketing, freelancing, my experiences, and everything. So that's how I plan to go about it.
Oh, that's actually a wonderful pun you have used with the word point. That's quite interesting. Okay, tell me something. How do you begin a writing project? Do you start taking notes on the laptop or computer itself, or do you actually prefer using a pen and paper before you actually start typing out?
Right. So when I'm on the call with a client, I have a diary, which I have even now with me. It's a
Okay.
section.
Okay.
So whenever I'm talking with the client on call, I always have this by my side so that if there's a special mention or something that I may forget, I don't like call records, like record. So that's how I go about it. I like having the brief over the call instead of having it over the email. So that's probably a good way for me. So I note it down. After that, I go along with, researching, preparing an outline, writing the first draft, then designing it, sending it, proofreading, editing, sending, and then, the follow up and the entire thing. So earlier I had a bad habit of finishing long form articles in one sitting. Now I've
Okay.
divided it into quite some sittings.
Okay.
It's made my process a little better than before, and the quality is also turning up to be improved.
Oh, I think combining the way you are structuring your writing and the way you are using your diary, I think you are turning it into a more organized outcome. That's pretty impressive.
Right.
Great.
Right.
Okay. But tell me how and basically what all things, what all kind of exercises do you do or would you recommend to improve yourself as a writer?
So I started writing through journals. So
Okay.
I still do that. But sometimes when I don't get the time, I actually included that in my to-do list. So I have a to-do list which is somewhere around here. I don't know where. So I started. There's a section in my to-do list which says notes. So I pen down one note to my future self derived from, for example, today, so that
Okay.
whenever I read it in the future, I can just take note of it, and that's like interesting to read. So I've made a habit of writing in my journal. So I think that's something which gets to me and improves my writing, because over the time I can also see how I improve when I first started writing and now. So that difference is really going to matter a lot. Apart from that, I think reading makes me better, because I'm reading novels and everything, so whenever I read them, I don't just focus on the words, I focus on how they're written, so that I don't want to be a creative writer or something, but I think still the structure in which everything is put really matters. And
Great.
exceptionally in different types of blogs and everything, the tone, the structure, how everything, like quotes, pictures, everything is designed, all of that matters a lot. And I try to pay a lot of attention to them so that I can, maybe incorporate them, or strengthen my writing through it.
Oh, great. That will take a bit of time to process all of this. But since you mentioned about reading, are there some favorite authors or favorite books you have?
Recently my favorites would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill,
Great. Very
and
famous
I'm
book.
reading Right, right. And I'm reading, it would also be Magic of Thinking Big. And I'm right now I'm reading Fast, Cheap and Viral by Ashish Chopra.
Okay.
So that's something like, I like those two books and I'm really liking this one. So I'm about to finish it. So that's like.
They're a wonderful selection of books actually. Okay. We'll take a little detour here. We'll talk something slightly different. How, if I were to ask you to describe yourself in 5 words, what 5 words would you choose about yourself?
Okay. I think they would be confident,
Okay.
persistent, patient, a learner, and someone with a hunger for learning.
Oh, that's a whole good deal of things. That's quite good. Okay, coming back to your writing, are there some challenges that you're facing in terms of becoming a better professional writer or growing as a writer, getting more assignments for more projects, or is there something specific, or are there some challenges that you're facing, and how do you plan to work on them?
Right. So particularly in writing, I think I sometimes face a lot of problems sticking to the word limit. So that is something which I feel inhibits my creative freedom and I have to stick to it. So I'm working on that so that I can describe what I have to in the limited number of words. So that's something I'm struggling with a little bit, but I'm working on it soon. So what I do is right now I let it flow as much as I can, like even exceeding the word limit, and then I cut it short. So that's something I'm working on. Moreover, I think through projects and everything, I learned how to say no. So that was something new for me because I have always been very, nervous about saying no to someone, or like saying that this is not working out for me, this is disrupting with my my mental peace and I can't do this. And like that is something I've learned with time, and I think that's really good because now I can actually think about myself also and not just about the client or the work.
Oh, that's great. So you're basically trying to improve your assertiveness. Okay.
Right.
Great. Is there something that you really like about writing? What is it that attracts you to writing the most?
I think that would be the research part, because I think every time I research, there's something new I get to learn, even if it's about writing, content, travel, anything and everything which I research about adds up to my knowledge base. And I think instead of like not doing anything or like just reading a book, I think when I'm researching and I'm also like noting things down so that I have it in my mind while writing the article, I think that actually gets embedded in my knowledge system and it's actually expanding rather than just staying stagnant. So that's something I really like. And it also helps me to, keep the articles which I like aside to refer to them later if I want. So that like adds up to it.
Okay, so you're basically building a kind of a repository which you can always fall back upon. That's a wonderful
right, like a swipe file.
Great. So that's a wonderful way of keeping things very organized. Wow, that's good. Tell me something about how does your writing schedule look like?
So basically right now I'm not an early riser. So I wake up a little late.
Is that because of the lockdown that you have turned into a late riser?
Yeah, mostly, yes. Before I think there was college, so I had a habit of like waking up early in the morning and sleeping at night at like a right time. But right now it's a little messed up, and like my day starts at around 11 and ends at 2. So that's like I start writing from 12 and I work till max to max 6 or 7. So that's like including breaks in between, and if there's some urgent work, then maybe more than that. So that I think the habit of me dividing things into like breaks has helped me a lot, because my to-do list actually gives me a lot of satisfaction, because that means that every time I complete or tick off a task, I can actually give myself a little break. So that helps a lot.
Okay. So are there some technology tools or apps or something that you use to keep yourself either more organized or to improve your writing or something?
Right. So I earlier used Grammarly, but I got a little fed up of it with its habit of including the everywhere. and it's
That's a
like
common complaint we hear from a lot of people.
right. It got to me. So I think I read a post of Abhijit on the Lazy Writer on LinkedIn,
Oh.
and he had mentioned Pro Writing Aid. So I started using that, and in fact, I use it even today. But then I don't let it entirely change my article because I think that looks a little robotic instead of natural. So
Very true.
I change the things only which are necessary, and I feel like yes, this may actually be good. So I use that. Apart from that, to stay organized, I think Trello. I use Trello, and I use Pocket for organizing the articles that I like and to watch them later.
A lot of
And
people are
Canva.
fans of Pocket. Yeah, correct. Yeah, Pocket
Right,
is
that's
a
really
lot
good.
of fans. Correct. Great.
Right.
Since you're so young, and when you talk to people or even your relatives or even within your family, you talk about being a writer, what's the most common reaction? What's the most common response you receive?
I think most of them ask me, "Ki, acha writer, so you're gonna write, okay, you're gonna write. So for whom are you gonna write, or is that a future? Is that not a struggling? Because I think the Indian society has still not moved on from the notion of writing is for the novel only, or writing is for poems only.
Absolutely.
I think that is something not a lot of people have moved on from, realizing the importance of content it holds. And like I'm trying to make that a lot more prominent in my family, and I think now slowly they're realizing that, oh yes, that's actually a great career option, and like I can actually definitely do something in it. And I think my recent webinar got to them, and they were really proud of me, and so like they genuinely thought like, okay, this can actually be something for you.
Oh, you conducted a webinar. Tell me something more about it. That sounds fun.
Right. So I was approached on LinkedIn for a webinar on content marketing.
Okay.
But I was not really sound in it. So I was really honest with them, and I told them that I'm not sound in content marketing. I'm not that sound to give a webinar. But if you want to conduct a different kind of a webinar, or maybe you know how to become a freelancer as a student or something else, I may be able to help. And actually they found that very appealing because it was in fact a startup by the students of IIT Madras.
Okay.
It's called Tech Table.
Okay. Okay.
So they thought that they would, yeah, so they thought that this was a really good idea, and like I went along with it then, and there were about 35 people, and it was a YouTube live, and it was great. I spoke non-stop for I think 55 minutes, and the startup owner got a lot of positive feedbacks after that, and like I was really happy because it was super great. And like this was the first time I felt that, oh, I'm a part of a bigger picture and not just a freelancer sitting in a home and writing all the time. It actually made me feel like, okay, I can be someone, or I can be someone who can influence other people and help them grow, like using my knowledge or using something which I've already implemented and has proven results. So that was a really good thing.
Oh, I'm sure we would all love to have to get to watch that video. Maybe after the session, this call, you could send me the URL for that. That would be fun for everyone to watch. Great.
Sure.
Is there something specific you learned, something very valuable during an assignment? Or let me put it this way, what's the best compliment you have received from a client?
The best compliment I received from a client would be, your writing is very mature as per your age. So that's something I really liked, because it was a positive compliment, because I was writing for a relationship startup. It was a dating niche app, and it's a new app, and I was writing for them, and it was actually for people above the age of 25, and I'm 20 right now. So the articles I wrote really, mixed with them, and they said that, wow, you can write such articles. It's so great because your writing is very mature and your thought process is. So that was, I think, a big compliment for me. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. So basically, you are able to talk to people and almost help people who are a little ahead of your own age.
Right.
Timeline. Okay, that's great. Okay. Have you taken up any online courses, or do you follow a certain rule for writing, or how do you make the process more consistent?
I did a course on content marketing from HubSpot.
Okay.
and that was really good.
Okay.
But I believe, I'm of the opinion that a course is just a piece of paper unless you implement it. So
Very
I
true.
took a lot of time to complete that course because I did every every session, and then I tried to implement it and then move on to the next one. I'm still struggling to like implement it and learn from more from it, but it was a really good course. Apart from that, I think whenever I research about articles and I really like the content of the website, I subscribe to their newsletter. So I get updates in my inbox, and that's something which like reminds me, Acha, oh, I have to read this also, or oh, this could help me. So these are something that I do which helps me.
Correct. And newsletters, in fact, they are quite instructive because most newsletters, at least from the well-known sites, are extremely well written, extremely well written. And even if you do not read the entire article, reading the newsletter
Right.
itself will show you a lot of things about how good writing can actually happen. That's a wonderful learning, piece of learning you can get.
I agree with you.
Great, great. Fine. Since we are just coming to the close of the session, I would like to just pose a few fun questions. I'll give you a couple of choices, and you'll have to pick
Okay.
from one of them. Are we ready for that?
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Ready.
Okay, great. So my first question is, what would you rather watch, a romantic movie or an action movie?
Romantic.
Okay.
Sucker for romantic movies.
Is that so? Okay. How about choosing between songs or podcasts?
Songs, I would say, because podcasts, I've recently started listening to them and I'm still developing a habit for them. But for the time being, songs.
Okay. If you were to choose between sport like cricket and football, which one would it be?
Cricket. Definitely. That's like an Indian thing. I've grown up watching IPL and World Cup. So
Okay.
cricket, definitely.
Okay. How about this? Would you prefer exercising at home or would you prefer going to a gym? Or neither?
At home. At home.
At
Definitely.
home.
I'm a dancer, so I
Okay.
do believe in working out, but at home.
Okay. How about taking a vacation? Would it be a beach, a mountain, or a historical place? That are three choices actually.
That's quite difficult. I think it would be beaches.
Okay. Would you rather eat fruit or would you want to sip a can of juice?
Juice, definitely. I need it.
Okay, great. And how about choosing between, what do you prefer when you think about food? Would you prefer something which is sweet or would you prefer something that's spicy?
Sweet, any day. I have a very bad sweet tooth.
Okay, so we all are guilty of it one day or the other. That's interesting.
Right.
Fine. And this is the last one. Is there a favorite quotation of somebody which you really admire and would like to live by?
Right. So it's by John Collins. It goes by, age is just a number. It's completely irrelevant unless, of course, you happen to be a bottle of wine.
That's a
So
very
that's,
good
I
one.
think, that would be my favorite quote because I really believe age is just a number. Being a kid myself, like I'm a kid at heart, being a 20-year-old, it's not like a very big age, but I certainly believe that age is just a number and nothing else.
That's wonderful. Komal, it's been really fun talking to you, talking to such a sensible person like you. And
Same here.
thank you so much for your time as well. And hope
Thank you so much for inviting me.
it was our pleasure and all the best for your upcoming projects.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.